Right. Hey everyone. So, it's been a while. What have I been working on? Well, my little wolf friend, as you can see in chat, quite a bit. I have been working hard to rebuild the Runechant data pack, right? And starting with a better mode of delivery in terms of releases. So what I am going to do is basically work on features as modules, right? So the download will have the core and then all the different modules that you can enable and disable depending on what exactly you want to play with. And starting off, I thought I'd start with the most popular stuff, right? Which is going to be equipment and trimming. So yeah, that is what I've been working on, which, as you can see in chat, I have ways to detect what the player is doing, all right? And previously, very messy system. All has been shifted to predicates, right? Which makes it a lot more lag friendly. If you've seen the previous videos, you know that this is more usually like up here. Yeah, and now it's not, right? Even if we were to wear, say, trimmed equipment, right, and all its bonuses, we'd still not have much of a problem. So for instance, lapis is always my go-to because it's nice and easy to show off. Templates, wherever they are, they're in the ingredients, aren't they? Yeah, there we go. Nope. Right, there we are. That'll do. Right, so if we grab out some pieces of equipment and we trim it, we first off have a change to what it says. So we have sentinel plating and we have movement speed. The reason why I've made these changes is all trimming, if you didn't know, in the data pack now give actual functional bonuses. So in this case, lapis gives movement speed triple plus, and then sentinel plating is sentinel plating because what I've also done is I've made everything trimmable. And when I say everything, I do mean everything, right? Not just armor, not just, you know, other creatures' armors, but bows, crossbows, heck, even arrows I've made trimmable, right? Everything is now trimmable. So a mace for you, a bow for you, right? Boots, well, boots already existed. Arrows, horse armor, although that doesn't really show it. I'll go equip it to a horse. And wolf armor, right? I'll just make a new one. Give me a wolf friend, right? So yeah, the idea is that all the functionality of all the different trims will now be extended to mobs. So thanks to predicates, it's not actually utilizing too crazy of amounts of I don't know, memory, whatever you want to call it, right? But there you go. He's got the what is this? Sentry, right? So yeah, I think I've done a decent job. I did have to obviously make the models, right? Or I should say the overlays, but there we go. You're just damaged, right? So we now have a wolf trim, and he is, if you want to move slightly faster, thanks to the fact that this has lapis trimming, he's not going to move for us. And of course, if we go over to the horse armor, we can do the same thing, right? I'll take that from you, and you can have this one. And there we go. He now has trimmed horse armor, right? Which they were annoying as to edit, right? Their little armor map. But yeah, so everything is trimmable, everything is functional, and that is basically what I've been working on, right? And the idea is to release the pack sometime, hopefully next week, and have all these features fully done, fully accessible, fully usable, along with some extra little goodies, right? Yeah, I couldn't help myself. We have access to new armor models, so I thought, why not make new armor and equipment? So we have amethyst armor, we have copper armor and tools, we have emerald armor and tools, we also have prismarine. I've gone ahead and made turtle legs, chest, and boots to go along with the shell helmet as well, right? Anything else new? Oh yeah, some bows and a crossbow, right? And you also might notice that they kind of have different stats to what you normally craft, right? So for instance, we have iron chestplate here with 6 armor. If I compare it, we have a iron chestplate with 4 armor, some armor toughness, and sweeping damage ratio. And the reason for this is I wanted to essentially make all armor usable in its own right? So there is different tiers to the armor. I've sort of squished the how armor generally ramps up, right? So was it, you start with leather at 3 and get to netherite at 8, right? That's all been a little bit more squished, right? And then of course I've incorporated the new armor sets that I've put in as well. So the idea is you have armor and armor toughness on every bit of equipment, but then you also have a bonus attribute. So for instance, chainmail gives movement efficiency, amethyst gives max absorption, copper gives attack knockback, right? Diamond now gives knockback resistance, emerald gives luck, and so forth and so on, right? In an effort to basically make it, you can pick whatever armor you want, you can trim it and customize it however you want, and it will have its own utility and uses, right? That makes it a lot more powerful. Because, for instance, if you were to take, where's leather? right? Leather, which has movement speed, and you then trim it with lapis. It's going to have a greater movement speed bonus than if you were to take iron and trim it with lapis. Now, I can only edit the recipe files of Minecraft, so items you get through drops or trades will still be the original stats, but I've tried to make everything competitive. So for instance, you can have a normal iron chestplate, which has more armor, but obviously lacks the armor toughness and the bonus attribute perk, right? So there'll still be an interest, if you will, to use the equipment and armor that you get through trading and drops, but it's a bit more competitive, right? So yeah, I hope my goal overall again is just to make all items and equipment a bit more useful and a bit more thoughtful, right? What you actually want to equip, what you actually want to trim and give to whatever you're doing, right? So yeah, that is what I've been working on. So it's taking me a little bit to obviously make the item models, to redo the directories so that everything is linked up. And of course, everything here is trimmable. You can take the amethyst armor, if I had amethyst shards, right? And then we could go over and we could trim it. So we'll make a chest piece, right? Go over to the smithing table, trim it with lapis, and there we go. We have unique model for the amethyst armor, along with it still being, of course, trimmable, right? Yeah, beautiful. So, yeah, hopefully this is exciting enough. I know the trim stuff is by far what people have been most interested in when it came to the data pack. So again, it will launch with all the trim stuff completely functional. The attribute increases from equipment, the extra 20 or so trims, right? You can use echo shards, you can use turtle shells, you can use breeze rods. There's a whole bunch of love and work that has gone into this data pack. So hopefully that makes you all nice and happy and excited. And again, right, you can trim all your wolf pals, right? But to the technical stuff. So let me explain the system, right? So predicates, super useful. They allow us to basically set a filter, right, without having to do the normal filter. Say if you were to execute as at all entities and then do a type filter and all this other stuff, check score, you can condense it all into a predicate, which then can operate faster, if you will, than running functions like this. So that is something big that I've had to overhaul for the pack, and starting with it, I've sort of just been working on the core features. So for instance, being able to detect when we jump, when we sneak, when we fall, when we fly, when we swim, when we attack something, although we actually have to do damage, so you have too much armor, apparently. Normal wolf won't though, right? So we're attacking, so we've dealt damage to this. So the idea is, once I have that all set up, I'll have a bunch of core directories, right? And then we can just tie in all the different functions to it. So for instance, when we defeat a mob or attack a mob, instead of it saying what it's currently saying, right, in the chat there, it does something, right? So I will return all that utility, and yeah, hopefully that is something exciting to look forward to, right? But we'll leave it there for today. Just wanted to give a sort of update, and then we'll basically, as I finish the module, we'll just do a video covering the features, right? Hope you enjoyed. See ya.